everything I've ever had, I've changed. Right from the age of 16, right on to now. I started working with a fellow who brought a lot of Swedish magazines in, Swedish chopper magazines, and I just fell in love with the Swedish style, long forks, car tyres. And so from then on, I wouldn't have been happy unless I had that style of bike. And that's what I've always done. And then I did it at home, you know, like everybody did at home for a while. And I was going to be made redundant. I didn't know what else to do, so I started doing this 17, 18 years ago for a living. Before that, I worked in a cigarette factory. I wasn't happy with that. I didn't like working there, but lucky enough, the bosses let me do little bits on the side in the workshop, and I taught myself to use the lathe so I could make more exciting bits. And then as soon as I was made redundant, that's it. I was offered a place at BSA in Southampton. They basically just let me use a corner of their workshop to set up. And then before I knew it, all this happened. And now I'm stuck and can't get out of it. Well, my style, you could tell my style, I always had a thing called a drop seat. I don't think many people did rigid drop seats, certainly not in England. Drop seat gets yourself nice and low. A rigid frame will hurt your coccyx, hurts your back, right at the base of your spine. If you've got a drop seat, you're sat flat, so it's not uncomfortable. So I think I was probably one of the first to do the drop seats in England. No doubt someone else has done them, but I've not seen them. There's some great people. In England, it'd be Fenland Choppers. Joe's makes a great frame. Obviously, Destiny Cycles, Vic and Lynn Jefford, they're excellent. Abroad, it's Bjorn Eriksson. I mean, everybody loves Jesse James, Choppers Inc., Billy Lane. My stuff is more Swedish stuff. Multi-spoke wheels, stainless spoke wheels, 120, 250 spoke wheels. Just because they've got long forks, that's not a Swedish style bike, just because it's got long forks. It's got to have all a very short back end, often a car tyre run in the back, very long, with a multi-adjustable yokes. And people get the wrong impression that they're hard to ride, and they're really not. If they're set up right, they're not hard to ride, and they're the coolest thing going. And who'd want to ride a stock bike when you see one of those? I don't know if it's art or engineer, I don't really know, couldn't tell you. Someone else will have to tell me that, someone clever.
I'm 68 now. I shall ride for as long as I'm able to. Anything with suspension, you're a sissy. No, I don't believe in suspension. I quite like it. Being bounced all over the road a bit, it just makes the ride harder, doesn't it? More amusing. Oh, he got it there, he has. That's my one out there.
I remember I'd done started ballet, it lasted one session, so then I went straight to football. And then it was karate. I got to my black belt, used to teach, you know, done all that. And then tattoos, heavy metal. It's not really a girl's world, is it? But I love it. Obviously I'm a bit of a tomboy. When I got to 26, I bought my first Harley. I didn't know enough about the bikes. I said I ride a bike, I know nothing about it. So I asked Simon, once the kids went back to school after the summer holidays, if I could do a bit of work in the workshop, and I expected to come in, sweep up, make the tea, so whatever it is. That was the plan. And I come in and day one, he's like, here's a donor bike, strip it, go. We are a bunch of weirdos and misfits here, like the other kids at school that just like didn't quite fit in anywhere. It's what the workshop's about as well, about the community as well. It's not just build a cool bike, off you go, see you later. There's a lot more to it than that. Yeah, so we've had quite a few, they have been lads from schools. Some of them are struggling at school, some of them have gone to a particular school because they have, it's either learning difficulties or behavioural issues. And most of them, a lot of them, not all of them, are from, they've got a difficult background, they've had hard family life, hard life growing up. We take them on and they generally do very well. Our welder's daughter actually works in a school with children with like extra needs. So she asked if one of her students could have a placement here. So I just took him on, and he was probably the best lad we've had here. He's brilliant. He was just taking the mickey out of everyone, having a laugh, relaxing. Whereas to start with, he used to stand in the corner with his hood up and facing the wall, not talking to anyone. So I think it has been really beneficial to them as well.
Yeah, we occasionally get kids in from the school. We don't look like your average teachers. Doesn't look like a school, but yeah, they seem to enjoy themselves when they're in, and if they've shown some interest, so I was keen to help them learn. There was something about this that drew me to it more than tattooing. So I basically inherited a house, so took some time off work to do the house up, to sell it type thing. And during that time was getting my bike built, and then just, because I wasn't working, I was coming down here to sort of build my bike with help from Simon. And yeah, it just sort of ended up not going back to tattooing really, just sort of, yeah. That's mainly just us at the work here. Like if you actually see the customers, they vary, all types of jobs, all look different, yeah. Just how it is. All of us lot are just, so happens to be covered in tattoos and long hair.
Although I appreciate the style and what my dad's interested in, or what a lot of people are interested in, it's very fashionable at the moment to be interested in that biker lifestyle of getting drunk in a tent and having a party at a bike show and the long fork choppers and the rock music. It's just not me. Never been interested in that. I was always the opposite to everyone in my family when it comes to that aspect. I'm not really that grungy type of person that is happy to get covered in metal. I wash my hands about 47 times a day, and I wear gloves most of the time, and I like to stay clean. And when I realised there was things out there, custom bikes, that I could like and enjoy more, I decided to make my own little niche market and style and way of doing things that I then could connect with a lot better. I'm very much about like the geometry of things and the precision of things and engineering of things, and that's not necessarily the bike's got to be over-engineered. Just I very much like certain lines being certain ways and no gaps in the bike. So I don't tend to like the long forks because I don't like the gaps. The geometry isn't right to me. The angles aren't quite how I would want them. More than anything, I like the art of them. It's almost like a Picasso doing a painting. That's my painting. I like it when customers, friends, people at shows will say, how's he done that? Oh, where's he put that? How has he hidden that there? Where's he routed that? And I think that's quite important to me. I like confusing people.